Back to my dad's channel. Welcome back to my dad's channel. Welcome back to my dad's channel.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Phoenix 1987-20 here to bring you my latest episode and my Let's Talk About series. And today we're gonna talk about Nintendo mini consoles. Yes, not one, but two, both of them. And heck, I might even throw in the Game & Watch to talk about this. But before I go any farther in my videos, I want you to do me a solid. Hit that like button. Share this with all your friends and family. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Then turn on that notification so you can stay up to date with my latest videos. And if you're a return subscriber to my channel, I love you and I appreciate you all from everything in the bottom of my heart. And drop me down a comment below. If you have any ideas that you want me to talk about on my channel, Nintendo related, I will do it. Unless I already have it done. Heck, I might even do it again. So, yeah, today's topic. The NES and the Super NES classic consoles. Both were excellent ideas on paper to get high-def classic retro games out to everybody. I mean, out to everybody. And they put all the good classics on there, and you can't deny it. And a lot of companies give Nintendo rights to put these games out, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we're gonna talk about the NES classic here for a quick second, and the games they have on there. They came with 30 preloaded games. Yes, 30 preloaded games. And you got Bloom Fight, you got Castlevania, Donkey Kong, Double Dragon 2, Dr. Mario, Excite Bike, Final Fantasy, Ninja Gaiden. You know you're gonna have the Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. Both the Legend of Zelda's gonna be there. Can't forget about Pac-Man. Heck, you got the arcade games on there. Mario Bros, Donkey Kong. You know, all those good old classics. And who don't like those good old classics? Especially when you can hook it up to high-def TV. Yes, I'm gonna say that. Not no tube TV. And you can share those classics, those NES classics with your kids, your grandkids, whoever you want to enjoy it with. And the NES was great. Yes, it came with one controller. The only side that I didn't like about it, it was the cord on the controller. They could have went with Bluetooth on it, but they wanted to make it cheap. But the cord was literally 3 feet long. You're hooking up something to a high-def TV, guaranteed it's going to be probably 40 inches or bigger. Not when the NES came back in the day when 20-inch TV was huge. And that's if you haven't had 20-inch, you might have had 13-inch black and white like this guy did for most of his life. But it was huge. But a 3-foot controller on a big TV, that make no sense. And you sitting right in front of that motherfucker, tell you that much. And you're gonna sit there, and you're gonna have not only back issues, you're gonna have neck issues for looking straight up. And they could, like I said, they could have came out with a Bluetooth controller. Would have been easy solving right there. They could have at least put a damn 9-foot cord on it, and that would have been just perfectly fine as well. But no, because they did it, everybody had to either A, go to a third-party thing, buy if it was a third-party controller, or buy cable extensions to extend that cord out. So you win, you lose some battles, but it is what it is. Heck, you can put that thing right in your back pocket and walk away with it. Go up to Johnny's house and say, "Yo, Johnny, want to kick a classic? Don't worry about bringing out your NES. I got it right here, and we got the classic games on it." You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean because you know what I meant. And now we're going to talk about the Super NES Mini Console Classic, which came with a decent amount of games on it. And they also gave us a game that was never ever released for the Super NES. It was canceled at the last minute. Canceled. But they were able to give us that on it, but you had to unlock it. You had to actually beat a different game to unlock it. And the Super NES Classic, it had a lot of great one-hit wonder games. I ain't even gonna say one-hit wonders. These were great classic games. You had Legend of Zelda. You had Super Mario Go-Karts. You had Star Fox. You had Super Mario RPG. Super Metroid. You had Final Fantasy 3 on there. F-Zero. And a poop load of extra games on there. And they were awesome. And yes, to get the Star Fox 2, you had to beat Star Fox 1. And don't forget, little Kirby was there too. But they kind of changed up things on that. They give us a 6-foot cord instead. But it came with 2 controllers. So that right there made up for it. That definitely made up for it. Not the 3, but it's not the 9, the 6. So what? And it used USB. The power USB. So if your TV had a USB plug on it, bam! You didn't have to take up no wall space. You plug that bad boy into the TV and bam! It worked. Who don't remember getting down and dirty with Super Mario Go-Karts? Yeah, you got all the rivals out there and everything awesome. And they had a lot of good third-party games as well. And there was nothing wrong with the Super NES Classic. Besides, the cords could have been a tad bit longer. But I ain't gonna let that hold me back. And I'm gonna throw this in there as well. The Mario Game & Watch, which was a classic coming back, but it only had a few games on it. But it was still a classic console. Didn't have all the games and whistles and bells on it. But it was still a classic console that came out. And it was nice that Nintendo is going back to the retro stuff and giving us a lot of the retro stuff, because unless you're from my generation or older, a lot of these people did not see this type of kick-ass gaming systems that were available when we were growing up. Nobody, unless you were our age, and you were lucky if you're younger, if your grandparents had them, your parents had them, and they carried along because they were collectors. But if they weren't collectors and you were new to the gaming world, you never got to see the mad skills we all had to have to play these consoles. And I mean mad skills. You have 4 buttons and a control deck and 2 shoulder paddles, or 2 buttons and control deck and no shoulder paddles, and you have all these commands to do. Yo, we had skills. We grew up on the toughest challenge, and I can't even say we grew up on the hardest, because you had the Commodore 64 or the VIC-20 or the Color TV or any of the other consoles that came out prior to NES systems. Hell, if you had the Sega Genesis or the Sega whatever it was called, then you never went through a struggle. You had extra buttons on that than we did. But Nintendo fans, we had some of the best, dopest games out there. And yeah, mini consoles were excellent choice of games that they put on there. And I mean that. Excellent choices of games on there. But when you look at this, and you look at the other thing, they came out with a Commodore 64 mini console. Didn't do that well. They came out with a PlayStation 1 mini console. It didn't do that well. They came out with a Sega Genesis mini console. It definitely didn't do that well, because at one point you could see them at the stores for $20 and nobody was still picking them up. So, is it me, or does Nintendo have the biggest fan base, especially for retro gaming? I don't know. You tell me your thoughts. Drop those comments down below and tell me what you like. But this is the end of my my segment for my Let's Talk About series. And I want you all to do me a favor before I peace out for the night. If you haven't hit that like button yet, hit that like button. Share this with all your friends and family. If you're new to my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I do really appreciate it. And if you're returning to my channel, show me love, I'm going to show you love right back. I love you all. And drop me down a comment below. The good, the bad, any idea you want me to talk about that's Nintendo related, I will get it done. And so until further ado, this is Phoenix 1987-20 saying I hope you have a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon. Peace.